Wait. Hey everyone, Marwan's here. So for today's video, I'm gonna do a recommendation sort of thing. I know with everyone's being quarantined, on lockdown, all of that. I understand how it can get really boring. You probably watched through all my videos, just an assumption, and now you're bored. So what I thought of doing for today, since I am a huge fan of Netflix, I'm gonna do some recommendations for some of my most favorite videos.
Wait, what?
Videos on Netflix, and there's a lot. And these shows that I'm gonna be recommending, they're Netflix originals, so they're only gonna be on Netflix. And there really is a lot. I actually took the time to write it down on a piece of paper. My most favorite shows. The way I'm gonna do it is I'm just gonna make like a list. I'm gonna name off my favorite shows, and I'll talk about some of them. And I'm gonna make another video to talk about some of my favorite shows on Hulu and Amazon Prime. Look out for that one. Just gonna look at my list here. Again, all these shows are only on Netflix. So if you have Netflix and if you watched most of these shows, that's cool. I hope some of the shows that I'm gonna recommend you probably haven't even seen or heard of. So then you might check that one out. Anything to help you guys out with if you're bored or running out of shows to watch, or if you just need some recommendations from Netflix. That's all. Okay, some of my most favorite shows. Here we go. The first one, Ozark. I have to start off with that show, and that one I will talk about briefly, I promise. Ozark. There's 3 seasons currently on Netflix, and I'm hoping there will be a 4th. It's a drama show. It stars Jason Bateman and Laura Linney, and there's another character played by the actress. Her name is Julia Garner. She won the Emmy for this show. Incredible actress. But the story, it's basically about Jason Bateman's character. He's a financial planner who relocates his family from Chicago to a summer resort community in the Ozarks with his wife and their kids. He's a money launderer for the cartel. And the less you know, the better after that. It's a very intense show, very intense. The first season I thought was great. The second season though, masterpiece. One of the best seasons I've ever seen. And the recent season 3, also great. I didn't think it was nearly as incredible as season 2, but it was still freaking great, and I already want more. Definitely check out Ozark if you have not. Okay, moving on. Orange is the New Black, but don't need to talk about that one. Most likely everyone has seen it by now. Another show, Narcos, and Narcos Mexico. That show is such a high quality show. You forget that you're even watching a show. You think you're watching a documentary of sort, because the acting, the locations, the story, it's all incredible. Narcos, check it out. Black Mirror, one of the best shows I've ever seen. I consider that one a masterpiece status. It really focuses more on the quality over quantity. The reason why I say that, because each season it ranges from 3 episodes to 4 episodes to 6-7 episodes each. And there is 5 seasons so far for this show, and I really want more. It's such an incredible show that really tackles on the technology from the past, present, and future, and how we as a society deal with this technology and all that. Each episode is completely on its own, the original story, cast, all of that. So each episode you could watch them in however order you want. Another show called Dead to Me. To briefly talk about it, Christina Applegate's character, her husband gets killed in a hit and run, and when she goes to this counseling session, she makes a new friend over there. That's all I'm gonna say. It's a dark comedy. There's some emotional parts, but the humor it tackles can be really dark. So just fair warning on that one. There's another show called Living with Yourself, starring Paul Rudd. He plays 2 characters. His second character is a clone. It's a really funny show. It left me wanting more as well. I guess the best compliment you can say about a show is when it leaves you wanting more. What really surprised me about the show, because he discovers he has a clone, and you think it's going to go one way, but the show somehow always ends up going completely opposite direction. It surprises you. It knows how to surprise you and keep you on your toes. Really interesting. idea for a show, and it's really funny, and Paul Rudd knocks it out of the park. Check it out. 7 seconds, and it has a great cast, but it also stars one of my most favorite actresses, Regina King. She's just so good, so good. She really gives it all in this show, and it is a mini series, so it's only like one season. She plays the mother, and her son gets killed in a car accident, and the person that killed her son is a cop. And so they start to show you how far the cops would go to cover it up and so on. It's a very heavily emotional show, but I highly recommend it. It's a must watch for sure. There's another show called The Kaminsky Method. It stars Michael Douglas and Alan Arkin. I've never even heard of this show. I feel like Netflix never even took the time to advertise it. Then again, they don't do that for most of their shows. I never even heard of it until I saw it at, I think, the Emmys or the Golden Globes, and it was winning awards left and right. So I finally checked it out, and it's absolutely worth all the recognition. Great show. Michael Douglas and Alan Arkin, absolutely amazing chemistry. They both knock it out of the park. Great acting. It's really funny. Really funny show, you guys. It's a lot of fun. There's only 2 seasons. You'll binge right through them really quick because they're really short, like 30 minutes each or so. If you're really into like comic books, if you're a fan of Marvel, I do recommend you check out the Marvel shows that is on there that unfortunately they all got canceled, but they're absolutely still worth a watch. Daredevil, Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, Iron Fist, and The Punisher. All great shows minus the first season of Iron Fist. Iron Fist, the first season was trash, I felt like, but if you watch through it to make it for the second season, that one's a lot more fun. So if you want to get your action fix on, definitely check out the Marvel shows. Russian Doll. This stars Natasha Lyonne. You might know her from Orange is the New Black and American Pie. She's fantastic in this show. That one is another easy binge because there's only 8 episodes. They range typically from 25 to 35 minutes or so. Very short. You could easily finish it in one day or a weekend if you want to. You need to go into watching Russian Doll without knowing anything about it, or knowing as little as possible, because it relies on the surprises. Like, I'm actually afraid if there's even a trailer for it because I feel like it might spoil too much. But if you check out Russian Doll, it's only 1 season right now. Season 2 is coming eventually. I was gonna say this year, but with everything that's going on, who knows? The Haunting of Hell House. The Haunting of Hell House is one of the most best TV shows I've watched, and it is an anthology. And the first season completes its own story. So the cast, the characters, the story all wrap up in 1 season, and they're currently working on season 2 with a completely different story. Some of the cast members will be back, just like how they do it with American Horror Story. And it's not really a scary show. It's really creepy, and there are a couple parts that will make you scream. But if you're expecting like constant horrors left and right, then you'll be disappointed. It's not that kind of show. The show really focuses more on the characters. Okay, I'm really gonna try to go faster this time. Tiger King. What else is there to say about Tiger King? I don't normally watch documentaries on Netflix. Never been like a huge fan, but that one really got my attention. And each episode gets crazier and crazier. Just wow. That's all I have to say about Tiger King. Another show called You. I finally watched You. God, that sounds creepy. I'm pretty sure I don't need to recommend that one. I think I am one of the very last people on earth that watched this show. But I finally checked out the show because so many people asked me to. And now that I've seen it, I loved it, I enjoyed it, already anticipating season 3 that won't be out till 2021, and since so many people recommended it to me, I do want to recommend it to if there's anyone that hasn't seen it yet. Going through the rest of the list: Lost in Space, Altered Carbon, The Witcher, Bloodline. Great show. Another great, fantastic show is Glow. There's currently 3 seasons. Absolutely check out Glow. It is loosely based on a true story. It's really funny, a lot of fun, and another easy binge because each episode just really short and there's only 10 episodes each. Do I really have to recommend Stranger Things? Everyone's seen that show by now. If you have Netflix, you've seen it, right? Just making sure, okay. Another incredible show called One Day See Us. One Day See Us only has 4 episodes, and each one is over an hour, but don't let that 4 episodes fool you. This show is very, very, very hard to watch, and it is based on a true story. Amazing cast. The first episode, I had to force myself to finish. Halfway through, it got really, really, really tough to watch, but you have to keep pushing yourself. You need to see what those kids went through during that time. And it's one of the most talked about and most emotional shows I've ever seen. It's only 4 episodes. Definitely check it out if you haven't seen it. One Day See Us. Going through the list, there's another show called Love. That's all it's called. It is a comedy. Santa Clarita Diet. It's one of the funniest shows I've seen on Netflix. Unfortunately, it did get canceled. And the 3rd final season ended on such a cliffhanger that I'm like, ugh. Bring it back or make a movie, to end it. But I still do recommend it. You must watch Santa Clarita Diet. House of Cards. I enjoyed that show. It's one of the first Netflix originals that really demanded people to take Netflix originals seriously. If you grew up as a fan of Full House, check out Fuller House. It's a good, fun show. It's really cheesy, but just like the original Full House was. Moving on. Master of None. Wet Hot American Summer. 13 Reasons Why. Unbelievable. The End of the Effin' World. And last but not least, American Vandal. That show is 2 seasons and it got canceled as well. But also another recommendation of mine. It's a funny show, but it has a lot of heart to it. And each season focuses on like a new mystery. Think of it like a parody of criminal documentaries. So someone does this funny but horrible act in the first season, and they blame this kid, and so throughout the season they get to interview other people, the witnesses, and it's just to find out if that kid did this act or not. Very entertaining, another easy binge. Those are all the Netflix originals that come to mind for me to recommend to you guys. There's still plenty that I haven't even seen. Including The Crown and Umbrella Academy. So there's still a few shows for me personally to check out. And if there's any shows that I didn't recommend that you recommend, comment below. Let me know what it is. I'll definitely check it out. The more shows, the better. And if there's any shows that I recommended that you haven't seen, check it out. I hope you'll like it. Let me know your thoughts in the comments if you do or if you don't. Hopefully it'll help out with the boredom. Just hang in there, you guys, and I'll be back with another video for recommending shows from Hulu and Amazon Prime as well. And thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video, for checking out my channel, for all your love and support. You all take care. Bye.